Good morning and welcome to game number one for the CCM Showcase. The D1 Gales wearing orange, playing against the Chicago Phantoms in black. Gorman is the home team for this matchup. As a reminder, there will be 4 round-robin games. We'll go straight to semifinals and championship. Those other games occurring on Sunday. Gorman coming off a 6-3 loss to St. Viator Lions last night. They're gracious hosts. Have the boys come out. All right, getting ready to kick off the first period. Game being played at Fifth Third Arena, home of the Chicago Blackhawks. It's their sheet they use for training. And all of Gorman's games will be played here through round robin. Starting lineup for the Gales: Fish, Westwood, Fitzy, Trent, and Bosner. Back at the crease, Lakoska kicking off the tournament for Gorman. .15 on the board. Minute and a half penalties for the tournament. High school rules. Fish in for the face-off. One's back in favor of the Phantoms. Pass broken up by Westwood. Makes his way into Gorman territory. Posner chips it up. Phantoms coming away with it. Back at the goal line. Trent looking for an exit strategy. Posner picks it up on the near side, lobs it up, chipped out, and cleared by Fitzy. Phantoms bring it back the other way, have an opportunity. Back checking, Fitzy is able to force a shot, goes wide, kept in play by the Phantoms. Sent back down low. Shot up and high. Puck sent around the boards. Trent's going to get there for Gorman. Kept in play by the Phantoms. And Gorman gets the clear through the neutral zone. They will go and regroup. Shot off the blocker. Phantoms still in possession, walking around the blue line. Forced out by Creel. And lob back down. They'll have to tag up as Gorman gets in the line change. Still unable to clear. Trent comes in. High on the faceoff dot. Shot. Glove save. Koska. Late change by the Phantoms and make it to the bench. Pass almost broken up by Godino. Creel and Godino working through, broken up pass in the neutral zone. Rubino's going to get there for Gorman, chips it up. Phantoms try to bring it back the other way. Pass comes out to Larison. Larison feeds it out to Creel. Creel battling at the goal line, brings it back behind the net. Trying to hit Larison, and it makes its way to the Phantoms. No icing. Phantoms bring it in. Davis chips it out to Godino. Godino chips it out. Couldn't clear. Comes back the other way. Larison with a clear and an opportunity the other way. A foot race. No icing. As it's sent around the boards. Mesa in for Gorman. Chips it back the other way. Bouncing puck back at the goal line. Shots on goal 2-0 in favor of the Phantoms. And they'll bring it back through the Gorman side on the far wall. Pass through the center. Broken up. Shot off the pad. Follow-up shot deflected wide by Larison. Picked up by Mesa. Mesa going to bring it back behind the net. Baldy, the other defenseman, off the stick of Tritton. Couldn't get the pass off, and the Phantoms bring it back the other way. Shot loose out front. And cleared by Gorman. Baldy out to Tritton. Tritton ushers that one out. Takes a hit. Phantoms pass through the neutral zone, no one there. Luong on a foot race, brushes him off the puck. Big hit on Jennings. Klaus. Shot save, Lakoska. Puck sent around the far side, another shot through the crease. And player down, comes out, fed back down low along the near boards. Shot, big hit by Kerr. And Gorman is going to wire down the other way. For a stoppage of play, that'll be an icing. It's going to come on back. Puck comes out along the near boards. Phantoms shot off the pads, sent into the near corner. Puck comes out to Jennings. Jennings trying to chip it up the wall, gets stuffed. Trent forces him off the puck. Cash Johnson looking for a passing option. Sends it off the boards to Jennings. Jennings trying to sub it through. He does. Cash Johnson trying to feed it out to Klaus. And Posner there, able to come away with it. Poke checks it out to Johnson. Johnson stuffed on the breakout. And the Phantoms send it down, sent aside by Koska. Gorman chips it off the boards over the stick. We're going to go ahead and say no icing on that one. Gorman going to get in a much needed change. Pass off the skate of Westwood, clears the zone. Phantoms make it into Gorman territory, send it down low. In the far corner, sent back the other way. Rubino gets there for Gorman, sends it off the glass. Out to Fitzy. Fitzy trying to hit Westwood in motion, couldn't connect, and the Phantoms are going to pick that up at the hash marks. Gorman sends it around the board. That one's going to clear back out to Larison. Larison's going to wire back down the other way. The boys will tag up and try to squeeze in a partial change. Fitz working in the corner. Puck comes out along the near boards. Gorman gets in a change. Creel wires it back the other way from the neutral zone. Puck comes out to Larison. Larison feeds it up down low, loose out front. And a diving save by the Phantoms goaltender for a stoppage of play. 8:47 remaining, 8:46 remaining in the first period. Face-off coming up in Phantoms territory. Godino, Davis, Creel, Baldy, and Luong. Godino in for the face-off. Wins it back, comes out to Creel. Creel right outside the crease, backhand shot. Davis comes in, couldn't get there in time. And Phantom's going to bring it out on the far side, chips it across. Davis comes in with a stick, ties it up. Hand pass out, picked up. Not sure why they called that one. It went to a Gorman player. We're going to blow the clock dead there. And Davis goes in for a penalty. Not sure what the penalty was. Either way, Gorman's going to be on the penalty kill. Minute 30 on the boards. Gorman gets a clear right off the face-off, and it's a foot race. Westwood's going to get there first for Gorman. Brushed off the puck, Fish, the other forward. Luong and Baldy on defense. Luong breaks that one up, kept in by the Phantoms. Poke checked out by Westwood. Westwood sends it off a skate, still in play. High in the slot, near wall. Sends it across to the far side. Fish pokes that one out. And we have a penalty now on the Phantoms for interference. And we'll see who they take. Looks like number 22 for the Phantoms. They'll play a little 4-on-4 here with 47 seconds remaining on the initial penalty for Gorman. Creel, Godino, Trent, and Rubino on the ice for the 4-on-4. Godino in for the face-off. Puck center on the boards. Creel's going to get there for Gorman. Feeds it back to Godino. Couldn't complete that one. And Phantoms going to regroup in their zone. Godino's going to get there for Gorman. Dodges a hit. Keeps it in play. Walks it up. Feeds it out to Rubino. Shot. That one chipped up and over and into the netting. First stoppage of plays. 7:27 remaining. And 26 seconds remaining on the Gorman penalty. Puck comes out of reach of Rubino. And Gorman going to regroup in their territory. Trent drops it back to Rubino's got a man on him. Bouncing puck out to Trent. And 4 seconds remaining on the Gorman penalty. Pass out to Godino, drop back to Rubino. Chipped in. Davis heads for the bench. Kerr in for the 5th player. And Gorman on the power play here. .22 seconds remaining on the power play. Trent brings it in the zone. Gets poked off the puck. And wired around the boards for the clear, and that'll just about wrap it up as Skoska stops it at the hash marks. And we are back to 5-on-5 play. Westwood in the slot, trying to get the shot off, denied, kept in play by Kerr. Wired down, brushed aside by the goaltender. And the Phantoms able to clear the zone. Out to Posner, picks that one up in Gorman territory, feeds it back up to Larison. Larison drops it back to Posner, not enough room, and Gorman wires it out on the far side. Sent in, no icing. Fitzy on the press. Posner working down low, picks it up on the far wall, sends it back down the other way, glove down by Westwood. Westwood walks it up, shot, and save. All right, face-off coming up in Phantom territory. Cash Johnson in for the face-off. Phantoms win that one. Kept in play by Klaus. Feeds back down low. Klaus and Johnson working along the boards. Cycle back down low. He's got Jennings in the near corner. Feeds it into the slot. No one there. Baldy and Luong at the blue line battling through the neutral zone. No icing. Baldy chips it up to Luong. Klaus. Klaus up the boards. And clears its way through. And the Phantoms send it back the other direction. Off the stick of Baldy. Baldy working back behind the goal line with Cass Johnson. Baldy's got a little room on the near side. Lobs it up, trying to hit Jennings off a body. And the Phantoms wire back into Gorman territory. Baldy chips it up to Klaus, takes a hit in the back. No icing on this one. Mesa in, forcing a pass along the near boards. And the Phantoms come along the long side. Kerr picks that one off, sends it out to Rubino. Tritton gets the clear. Shot goes wide. Kept in play at the near blue line corner here. Fed back down low in the slot. Couldn't connect. That one clears. And the Phantoms going to have to regroup in their own zone. Tritton on the press. That's going to get picked up at the blue line by Rubino to Kerr. Going to send it wide to Trent. Missed connection there with Kerr. And the Phantoms bring it into Gorman territory. Bring it out wide. Shot. Loose in the crease. And that is a goal for the Phantoms. Make it a 1-0 game with 3:40 remaining in the first period. As a reminder, there will be an ice cut every 2 periods. They cut right before this game. So we will have a cut between the second and third. Udino in for the face-off. Brings it into the zone. Larison on the rush. Feeds it through the crease, no one there. Creel battles in, he's got Davis there in support. Davis comes in, Posner at the blue line battling, and it comes out the other way. Udino sends it back. Posner working at the blue line. Udino comes out of the scrum with the puck. Sends it across just out of reach of Larison. Larison sends it on net, hits a skate. Glove down by Larison, still in play, and Phantoms clear the zone. Udino lobs it out off the stick or the body of Creel, and it comes back Favorable to the Phantom shot. Save. Short side, Lakoska sends it wide. Davis on the far side clears the zone. And the Phantoms bring it back in. That'll be offsides. With 2:40 remaining in the first period. Gorman trailing by 1. Face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Fitzy in for the face-off. Fish. And Westwood on the wings. Comes out to Baldy. Baldy to Fish. Fitzy trying to hit Westwood and couldn't connect. Baldy working center ice. Sends it to Fish. Fish brings it in the zone. Just out of reach of Gorman. Chip through, and that's going to be an icing. Face-off coming up in Phantom territory. Gorman trailing by 1 with about 2 minutes remaining in the first period. Fish in for the puck drop. Phantoms win that one, sent around the boards to the far side. Trent keeps it in play. Sent across, bouncing puck back behind the goal line. Fitzy picks it up, feeds it back the other direction, picked up by Westwood in the near corner. Push off the puck, and comes out. Rubino keeps it in play, sends it down low, out of reach of Gorman. And puck sent out far side. Poke checked off by Rubino, trying to chip it out, couldn't clear. And Fish working to get the clear, and denied. Shot. Comes out the other side into the far corner. Pass back out to the blue line, kept in play. Brought out by Westwood. Westwood battling through the neutral zone as Gorman goes in for a change. Westwood still with the puck. Cycle back the other way. And bouncing puck to the neutral zone, picked up by Posner, wires it in, gives a hit in the process. Goalie comes out back behind the net to stop that one. Breakout pass denied by Klaus. Klaus battling through the corner. He's got a man on him. Tripped up. No call. Bouncing puck. Clears the zone. Larison battling at the blue line. Ref in the way. And the Phantoms bring along the near wall. Posner sends it back out. Shot. Save. Laskoska. Posner pins him to the boards, comes out the other side, near wall, near corner, no one there. And that'll wrap up the first period. As the Phantoms come out of the first period with a 1-0 lead. Very quiet rink, no music during intermission here. getting ready to kick off the second period. Udino, Davis, Creel, Trent, and Rubino. 15 minutes on the board. Shots on goal, 9-3 in favor of the Phantoms. Davis in for the puck drop. Davis wins that one back. Picked up by Rubino, makes the line, dumps it in. Davis goes on the forecheck. Goalie stops that one back at the goal line. Fed out to Udino, to Davis, trying to hit Creel. Gets tied up. And stretch pass out on the near side denied by Trent. Creel keeps that one in play. Pass out the other side. No icing. Skoska sends it around to the near corner. Fed back out to the blue line. Shot off Davis, goes wide and clears. Stretch pass. Tipped. And Rubino looking for a passing option, sends out to Creel. Creel, an opportunity, brings it in the zone. Shot just left of the post. In come Fitz. Sends it back down low, out of reach of Creel. Luong and Baldy at the blue line. Creel still in. And that is offsides for a stoppage of play. 13:46 remaining in the second period. Faceoff coming up in the neutral zone, just outside Gorman territory. Westwood, Fish, Luong, Fitz, and Baldy. Phantoms win that one, send it around the boards. Baldy trying to chip that one out. Since back, goes out back behind the net. Gorman clears the zone. Fish comes in trying to poke check it through. Phantoms hold. Puck brought out on the far side. Fitzy wires it down the other way. Westwood going to get there for Gorman. Fish in for support on the D side of the puck. Phantoms come away with it. Stick stuck in the boards. Westwood heading to the bench. Stick stuck. Phantoms shot deflected wide. Follow-up shot saved. Cleared by Gorman. Fish trying to clear, and he does. Glove, nope, glove down, still in play. Fed back down low in the slot. Picked up by Luong. Sent wide. Baldy goes in for Gorman. Presses him to the boards. And Phantoms are going to squeeze in a change. Gorman wires that one down for an icing call. .23 remaining. Cash Johnson in for the faceoff. Gorman wins that one. Phantoms pick that one up on its way back. And should be a tripping call there. Jennings tripped cleanly behind the net. No call. But comes out to Klaus. Klaus feeds it through the crease. Loose. And covered. Jennings, Larison, Klaus, Posner, and Johnson. Face-off coming up in Phantom territory. Johnson in for the face-off. Wins it to Klaus. Johnson got Jennings posted in the crease, looking for an option. Jennings posted out front, shot off a skate, loose in the slot. And Posner chips it off the boards, out of reach of Klaus. Phantoms walk it in. Send it around the boards into the near corner. Jennings Working in the corner with Gorman defenseman Larison. Larison chips it up, couldn't clear. Klaus in the neutral zone lobs it up. Phantom's going to pick that up at their hash mark and circle back. Kerr battling back behind the goal line. Larison support. Puck comes out to Mesa in the far corner. Cycled back the other way. Kerr still battling. Lobs it up. Tipped down. Larison takes a huge hit to the head. Mesa battling through. Kerr gives and gets a hit. And Pendle on the far boards, picked up by the Phantoms, behind the slot, feeds it through and couldn't connect. And Mesa back at the corner, trying to feed it through, couldn't clear. Long change in the second period, shot, pad save, sent into the corner. Gorman needing to clear the puck from the zone. And Tritton breaks it through, turned over in the neutral zone, and the Phantoms bring it back in. Dingled by Mesa. Fed out to Trent, couldn't connect. And sent back the other way by the Phantoms. Posner chips it off the boards. Tipped, no icing. Gorman gets a change in. Davis and Godino. Davis comes in. Davis poke checks that one off, gives a hit, still gets the clear. Chip back out. Davis comes in, gives a hit. Dishes out to Creel. Creel and Trent on the rush. Sends around the boards. And that will be an icing. Waved off. Not sure how that wasn't an icing. Davis trying to feed it to Trent. And Trent's going to lob it through the neutral zone. Breakout pass picked up by Godino. Or Rubino, sorry. Bouncing puck hit by Creel. That's going to be a penalty on the Phantoms. And delayed penalty coming up as Gorman's going to go on the power play. Not sure how that wasn't an icing. Interference is the call. Power play coming up for Gorman. Larison, Westwood, Fitzy, Kerr, and Cash Johnson. Westwood in for the faceoff. Wins it back. Fitzy with a shot off the faceoff, and the Phantoms pick up the loose puck and wire it down the other way. Larison pass to Johnson, couldn't connect and sent back the other way on net. Skoska with a save. Larison through the middle. Feeds it out to Westwood. Bouncing puck over the stick of Larison, and Gorman's going to have to regroup. Larison's got a man on him. Brushes him aside. Johnson brings it in, sends it around the boards. Kerr is going to get there for Gorman. 37 seconds remaining in this power play for Gorman. Westwood, face-off dot, sends it out to Johnson, near side. Shot. Off the body, goes up, still in play. Westwood. Cash Johnson high in the slot, shot, loose. And covered. .19 seconds remaining in the Gorman power play. Next unit comes out. Creel, Davis, Godino, Baldy. and Luong. Davis in for the faceoff. Wins it back. Creel feeds Luong. Shot off a skate. Shot tipped by Davis just wide of the net. Comes out to Godino. Godino drops it back to Davis. Davis trying to hit Creel in the slot. Godino feeds out Luong. Back to Godino on the near wall. High in the slot. Shot. Loose. Goal! And Creel finishes it. .705 remaining, and Gorman with a 5-on-5 goal. Tie the game. Creel poke checking it. Loose puck squeaking out. Davis and Creel posted at the crease. And able to put it in the back of the net. 7:05 remaining in the second period. Fish, Westwood, Fitzy, Luong, and Baldy. Phantoms bring it in. Baldy with a monster hit on the far wall. Sent around the boards out to Fitzy, out of reach of the Phantoms. Fish comes in, almost picks that one off, and the Phantoms bring it around the near side. Offsides, Phantoms unable to register. That's offsides, and they're going to bring this one all the way back outside the crease for a faceoff. Fish in for the faceoff. Phantoms win that one. Chipped off the boards. Luong unable to hold that one in with a skate. Fed through. Phantoms cycled back. Picked up by Fish. Westwood near side with an opportunity. Through the middle and kept in play by Trent. Out to Fish. Shot loose out front. Picked up by the Phantoms. Phantoms couldn't clear. Fish keeps it in play. Shot. One-timer follow-up shot. Loose. And Phantoms goaltender back-to-back saves as Gorman's going to pick that one up in the neutral zone. Fish fires it down. With a hit. Phantoms picked off. Pass picked up by Gorman. Walked in by Klaus. Shot off a body and wired back the other way. And that will be an icing. .540 remaining in the second period. Phantoms win the faceoff, sent around the boards. Far side stuffed by Jennings. Comes out, kept in play by Rubino. Jennings battling on the far side. Sends it down the boards. Trent pitches up. Battles for position, sends it into the near boards. And Klaus makes his way to Jennings. Jennings couldn't get a shot off. Loose out front. And denied by the Phantoms. Back-to-back opportunities with this line here. Comes out to Trent. Trent high in the slot. Just going to walk it out on the far side. Looking for some space. Shot. Loose. Off a body. And the Phantoms bring it back the other way. Trent working through. Loose out front. Picked up by Gorman. Trent sends it out to Rubino. Or to Johnson, sorry. And the Phantoms keep it in Gorman territory. Godino chips it off the glass. That's going to be an icing. Davis, Godino, Posner, Creel. Davis in for the faceoff, wins it back to Posner, sends it around. He's got Godino on a stretch. Tipped, kept in play. Godino in the corner, he's got Davis with him. Davis in the near corner, drops it back for Godino. And Phantoms battling through, clear the zone. Posner ties it up. Stretch pass to Godino. Godino couldn't field that one cleanly, and it's chipped back out. Phantom's going to pick it up with their hash marks. Davis on the press. Creel comes in. Stretch pass picked up by Posner. Fed back out to Davis. Davis wires it in off a shin. Out to Kerr. Shot. And a save. 3:22 remaining in the second period. Tie game. Shots on goal 11-8 in favor of the Phantoms. Gorman wins that one back to the blue line. Shot Baldy. Glove save. Gorman needing to get some traffic out front. Off the face-off. Puck. Attempt to be cleared by the Phantoms. Baldy keeps it in play. Mesa in the corner, left for Kerr. Kerr with a hit. Big hit by Kerr back in the near corner. Sent around the boards. Phantoms maintain possession. Send it around in Gorman territory. Tritton chips that one out, clears. And that'll be offsides, or not. What's offsides? Chipped by Tritton, takes a hit in the process and comes back the other way. Shot, pad save, brushed aside by Laskoska. Chipped out by Mesa. Puck up and over the glass for a stoppage of play with about 2:14 remaining. And again, there will be an ice cut coming up between the second and third period. Face off in the neutral zone. Fish. Fitzy and Westwood comes out. Westwood sends it around the boards. Rubino and Trent at the blue line. Puck sent around. Picked up by Trent at the blue line. Walked it up. Shot. Loose. And covered. Face-off coming up. Fish in for the face-off. Phantoms win that one, sent it around the far side. Rubino working along the wall to keep it down low. Pass out in front of the crease, and the Phantoms unable to keep it in the zone. Shot. Fitzy from the near wall. That might have been in the neutral zone as Trent was racing for it. Same line for Gorman. And a brief conversation over at the bench for the Phantoms and the refs. Phantoms win the faceoff. Picked up by Fish. Out of reach of Westwood. Phantoms get the clear. Bouncing puck the other way. Trent in the foot race. Loose puck. Back at the wall. Phantoms picked that one up. Loose out front. And sent wide by Gorman. Puck at the blue line, walked up. Missed pass, goes out to Fish. Fish It's Fitzy bouncing puck at the blue line. And Phantoms will ring it around the board. Fish brings along the near side. Pass out to Westwood, chipped in. Picked up by Rubino, out to Westwood. Feeds it out to Jennings. Jennings has got Johnson with him. Pressed back behind the net. 33 seconds remaining in the second period. Westwood walks it up. Shot. Poke checked off his stick and cleared by the Phantoms, who will spare you the pan. And that is an icing. .1 seconds remaining. Shots on goal 12-11 in favor of the Phantoms. Face-off coming up in Gorman's offensive zone. Johnson in for the face-off. Phantoms win that one, walk it through. Jennings on the back check, presses him off the puck. Battling back behind the goal line, 8 seconds remaining. Phantoms with a strong push, here to close it out. Loose out front. Johnson prevents the shot from going off. And we will head into intermission here for an ice cut. We will see you in a few minutes. Ty getting ready to kick off the third period. Tie game kicking off the third. 1-1. Shots on goal 12-11 in favor of the Phantoms. Gorman, home team for this game, wearing orange. As a reminder, high school rules for this tournament. Minute and a half minor penalties. Kicking off the third period for Gorman. Fish. Fitzy. Rubino. Nope, Rubino's making his way to the bench. Sorry. Westwood, Luong, and Baldy. Fish in for the faceoff. Wins it out to Fitzy, to the feet of Luong. Bouncing puck at the hash mark. Gorman unable to clear, and it comes out on the far side. Kept in play by the Phantoms. Bouncing puck just to the left of the net. Phantom cycle down low, out to Fish. Pass into the slot, shot, pad save. Pass broken up into the near corner. Cycle back down low. Westwood trying to clear, stuffed, off skate, loose, glove save. Skoska with a shot right out front, and Gorman's going to have a face-off coming up in their territory. 14-17 remaining in the third period. Davison for the face-off. Shot off the face-off by the Phantoms, and they opt to send it down low. Down to the far corner. Pinned to the boards by Posner. Trent. Battling through into the near corner. Fed out to the blue line. Couldn't connect cleanly. And Creel's an opportunity the other way. Creel with man on him. Poke checked off. Pass tipped. Not enough. Nope, no icing on that one. Phantoms come away with it. Near wall. Shot off skate goes wide. Rubino poke checks that one, keeps it. Phantoms trying to bring it back the other way. Godino, bouncing puck. Creel on the press. Davis comes in, misses on a hit. Tied through, loose at the faceoff dot, chipped out. Davis on the forecheck. And Gorman going to go for a change. Both teams going for a change. Rubino by himself gets tied up, kept in play by the Phantoms. Tritton chips it off the boards. Phantoms feed it back down low. Mesa chips it out to Rubino. Stretch pass. Tritton, and that will be an icing. And it's going to come on back into Gorman's D zone. All right, 12:32 remaining in the third. Face off, and they're going to wave off the face-off here, as there's a conversation happening over at the Gorman bench with the referees. We'll try this again. Phantoms win the face-off. Back at the blue line, shot, tipped, goes wide. Cycled back along the near side. Tritton looking to clear, denied at the blue line. And Phantoms feed it across high in the slot. Walk down low, shot, pad save. Cycled back down low. Baldy dodges a hit. Phantoms come away with it, feed out front. Goal. And 2-1 game now for the Phantoms, with 12:02 remaining in the third period. Johnson, Jennings, Klaus, Trent, and Larison. Johnson in for the faceoff. Comes out in favor of Gorman. Drop back to Jennings. Jennings feeds it out to Larison, far side. Larison wires it in. Phantoms bring it out on the far side. Klaus trying to chip it up to himself. Feeds it back behind the goal line. Jennings in the corner. Set around. No one there for Gorman, and the Phantoms are going to bring it along the near side. Trent there to disrupt. Larison to Johnson, chips it up. No one there. Trent drops it back to Jennings. Jennings chips it, couldn't clear. And comes back the other way. Disrupted, shot, goes wide. Klaus couldn't field that one cleanly. Sent around the boards to the far side. Larison on the press. Shot, bouncing puck off a couple bodies, goes wide. Sent around the boards. Phantoms get there and keep it in play. And Gorman clears it into the neutral zone. Phantoms reload, walk it in. Trent, pass out to Westwood. Shot, goal! And Westwood ties it up 2-2 with 10:24 remaining in the third period. Breakout pass along the near boards. Fish in for the faceoff. Phantoms win it, send it in Gorman territory. Rubino with a hit in the corner. And we have a penalty coming up, as Gorman's going to go on the power play here on the penalty number something, looks like 22. Looks like Fitzy will also be heading to the box, as well as number 12 for the Phantoms. We're going to stay 5-on-5. Not sure what the call was. And we'll see where they want to drop the puck. Face off coming up in the Phantoms D zone. Still, nope, we're going to say Phantoms number 12. Gorman is on the power play. Fish, Godino, Davis, then Trent. Davis comes in, kept in play by Fish. Davis drops it back to Fish. He's got Godino at the blue line. Drops it back to Godino. Near wall, Trent. Cycle back to Godino. Sent around the boards. Fish, far side. Davis posted out front, sent around to the near side. Shot. Tipped by Davis and gloved by the goalie. 9:34 remaining. All right. Fish, Creel, Godino, Davis, and Trent. Fish in for the puck drop. Phantoms win that one, center on the boards. Kept in play. Opportunity the other direction. Godino back checking. Got a man on him. Fish comes into support. Pass out to Trent. Pushed off the puck. Phantoms come away with it. Picked up by Fish. And Davis bumped offsides. And next unit will head on the ice. Westwood, Johnson, Mesa, Baldy. Pass broken up. Phantoms with an opportunity, shorthanded. Shot goes wide. Baldy out to Johnson. Picked up by the Phantoms in the neutral zone. Walked in. 3 seconds remaining. Poke checked off. And we are back to 5-on-5 play. Baldy through the neutral zone. Sends it out. Picked up by Mesa. Walks it in. Fed through. Trying to hit Westwood. Westwood comes in the corner. And the Phantoms come away with it. Puck cleared by Gorman out of reach. Off the skate of the ref. Bouncing puck far side. Luong pins him to the boards. Loose out front. Shot. Loose. Picked up by Mesa. Tried to clear. Kept in play. High in the slot. Shot. Goes wide. Mesa chips it around the far side. Pass out to Westwood. Connects. Westwood with the goal earlier in the game. Lost the stick. Still battling. Pass along the near side. Shot. Should be offsides. He's going to hold it, drop it. Still live puck. We're still playing. 7:25 remaining. Tie game. Pass out to Jennings. Couldn't field that one cleanly. And a breakout pass denied. Sent back to the far corner. And who knows what we're calling. But we're going to bring this all the way back. I believe they're calling offsides. And couldn't hear it up here, or apparently on the ice. Curran for the faceoff, wins it back. Picked up on its way to the D-man. Pass. Jennings wires it in. Sent around the boards. Lobbing pass. Tipped down. Trent returns it to sender. Tipped by Klaus out front. Goes wide. Sent back down low by Jennings. Kerr sends it around. Klaus lost an edge. That should be a 2 and a 10. That was textbook boarding here. We'll see how they call it. And they're just going to send him off the ice. And Gorman's going to go on a power play here. 2 and a 10 is the call. And Gorman's power play unit comes on out with 6:38 remaining. See what number that was. And for how long. Number 64, minute and a half on the boards. That will be served by number 35 as Gorman sends out their power play unit. Creel, Davis, Fish, Godino, and Trent. Group had 3 power play goals in the scrimmage last night. Fish in for the faceoff, wins it back out to Godino. Trent near side, loose. And kept in play by Godino. Trent shot, goes wide. Godino comes in to pick that one up. Godino, shot, tipped by Davis, goes up and over. Fish in the corner, drops it back to Davis. Feeds it out to Creel, back out to the blue line. Pass out to Godino, near side, Davis posted out front. Trent, blue line, Godino, shot, pad save. Davis comes in, feeds it back out to Godino, couldn't connect, and comes out to Trent. Drop back out to Godino, shot, looking for the left side. Davis comes in, tries stuffing it short side, feeds it back out. Trent, shot, side of the net. Sent around the boards, kept in play by Godino. 27 seconds remaining. Godino got a man on him, chipped up and cleared. Fish on the back check. Fish brings it wide as Gorman gets into change. Sent around the boards the other side, and we are back to 5-on-5. Out to the blue line, shot, loose. Johnson shot goes just through the crease, couldn't get it to the back. And the puck comes out in favor of the Phantoms. Phantoms through the neutral zone, feed it up. Trenton on the back check. Trent gets a stick in there, takes a hit from behind. He's got a man posted out front. And Johnson gets hooked as Lakoska heads to the bench. In comes Creel as Gorman has a delayed penalty in their favor. Out to Tritton. Tritton walks it up. Shot, loose, and cleared. And Gorman going to go on another power play. Hooking will be the call. As number 17 will head to the box. Gorman with 2 power play opportunities here in the third. Johnson, Kerr, Westwood, Larson, and Jennings in for the power play. Puck comes all the way out off the faceoff, bouncing back behind the Gorman net. Larson drops it back. Westwood. Pass out to Johnson. Poke checked off the stick and wired back the other way. And Larson lost control, loose out front. Shot, save, Laskoska. Westwood in the corner, brings it out along the far wall. Sent around the boards. Phantom's going to get there first. Loose out front. Kerr keeps it in play. Trent feeds it back down low out to Jennings. Jennings high in the slot. Johnson, Trent runs out of room, goes out to Johnson, feeds it to Westwood, far corner. High in the slot, shot off a body, loose, out front. And Jennings able to pick that one, walks it up, trying to feed the crease where Kerr is battling. Bouncing puck, comes out. Johnson fields that one, sends it back down low. Phantom's gonna get there. And they get the clear. That will wrap it up. That one's on net. Skoska with the save. Gorman sends it in. No icing on that one. Gets a change in. Stretch pass, chipped in. Davis ties up the shot. And Creel with the clear. Puck comes out. Godino chips it out the other way. Out to Creel. Creel feeds it through, takes a hit along the boards. Davis gives a hit, and the puck comes out in front of the net. And we will have face-off here. 2:03 remaining in the third. Davis in for the face-off. Davis wins it back. Luong, shot. Glove save. Davis in for the face-off for Gorman. Wins it back again. Luong, shot through the crease. Luong takes a hit. Behind the play, Baldy battling at the blue line. Keeps it in territory. Davis closing off the other side. Puck at the feet of Godino. Godino walks it up, dangles through, loose. Backhand shot while diving. And covered by Phantom's goaltender. And Gorman will send out some fresh legs for another face-off in Gorman's offensive zone. Phantoms win that face-off. Try to clear off the skate of Westwood. Then back to Fish. Fish feeds Westwood. Shot loose on the other side. Follow-up shot goes wide. Kept in play by Fish. Fish takes a hit along the near board. Stretch pass out the other way. Phantoms walk it in. And there's room to walk it up. Shot. Off a body. Fitzy tries to clear. Picked up. Fed out into the far side. Phantoms cycle it back down low. Far wall. Back down low. Looking to go high. Picked up by Westwood. Westwood walks it through. Gets pressed. Fed through. Kept in by Larison. Shot. Glove save. With 49.4 seconds remaining in the third period. Creel, Davis, Godino, Baldy, and Rubino. Davis in for the face-off. Davis wins it back. Shot. Loose. Follow-up shot off the post. Battling in front. And the scrum, they're saying it was no good as everybody crashed the net, as they teach you at a little early in your hockey career. Play to the whistle. And we will have another face-off here with 43.1 seconds on the clock. Davis in for the face-off. Rubino, Baldy at the blue line. Davis wins it back to Baldy. Baldy's running out of room. Shot goes wide. He's got Davis out front. Godino feeds it through. Davis battling. Couldn't connect. Clearing attempt made And Rubino trying to bring it the other way. Phantoms walk it up. Feed it through, picked up by Godino. Godino 2-on-1 with Davis. Shot off a shin. And bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Battle through. Baldy chips it up to Davis. Picked up by the Phantoms. Sent wide by Trent. Picked up by Davis at the blue line. Davis chips it in, gives a hit. And let's see here. That's going to wrap it up, possibly. Tie game, or are we going to do some extra fun here? It looks like that's going to be it. Gorman with a tie in round robin. Not ideal in what looks to be a pretty stacked tournament here. But 2-2 is the final score. Solid opportunity there at the end. Shots on goal, 20-18 in favor of Gorman, as Gorman comes away with a tie game in round robin. Game number 1, there will be 4 games as part of round robin. Next game will be this evening. Where Bishop Gorman will be taking on the PHA Icemen. That game will be at 7:10 p.m. Central Time. And that game should be here on this channel, so you should be able to find those games already queued up. You can go ahead and subscribe, or you can go through and just hit the little notify button. I'll let you know when we go live. And we will catch you later this evening. Thanks again for watching.